Jamaica's leading sign language interpreter, Antoinette Aiken, is raising alarm after claiming she has been blacklisted by the Jamaica Debates Commission (JDC), leaving the deaf community without access to interpretation during Saturday night's first of three political debates. In a series of videos posted to her Instagram page, Aiken expressed frustration and disbelief. The JDC told both the Jamaica Association for the Deaf and Ready to Sign that they are not under any circumstances going to work with Tony Aikens, she revealed. Aiken shared that growing up in the 90s with deaf parents deeply shaped her advocacy. She recalled how her parents suffered simply because they could not speak, often being humiliated, excluded from society, and unfairly labeled as dumb. According to her, the JDC suggested that she should only feed signs to another interpreter in the background, a proposal she rejected after legal advice. Aiken said she is branded as rude by people who do not understand the expressive nature and honesty of the deaf community. In truth, people could not understand her perspective. They do not understand the nature of sign language. Out of respect for her community, she has always stood firmly for the rights of the deaf while carefully avoiding political entanglements to ensure her advocacy remains neutral. Aiken stressed that decisions affecting the deaf community must never be made by outsiders, but by those who live and understand the experience firsthand.
I have refused to comment on the JDC, the Jamaica Debates Commission, what's happening with the JD and Ready to Sign and what's happening. But after advice and hearing everything that's happening, I think I should let the public know. I really don't know what's the real issue as to why they don't want me to work with them, but both organizations, Ready to Sign and JD, got a correspondence that said under no circumstance are they willing to work with Tony Aikens. Not my name, by the way. I've left it because I saw the correspondence about, oh, you should have a backup interpreter, or you should provide quality, or you should have someone who can manage the situation. But the reality is, it's been 20 years. October this year will be my 20th year interpreting for political audiences, government situations, COVID, blah 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 blah. I don't have to show the public my skill and my depth of knowledge. It's not a discussion or something up for debate. It's really factual. I don't need to tell you. Deaf community can tell you. Them know. Say years me I do this. Yeah? Fast forward, we're not gonna talk about the details. The JDC told both the Jamaica Association for the Deaf and Ready to Sign that they're not under any circumstance going to work with Tony Aikens. Fine, no problem. The reality is, when it comes to political debates, I'm the only one qualified. There's nobody in Jamaica that can manage. When it comes to policies and programs, you have to be able to explain that in a split second. You don't have 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, a few seconds to explain what GPs, what solidarity is, what social pension is. You have to explain all those in few seconds. Other interpreters don't have that knowledge. I'm the only one who has that. A long story short, to cut it, I really don't know what's the situation. I just know that both organizations, JAD, Jamaica Association for the Deaf, are ready to sign. Told him, hey, Tony has to do it. I was told that I have to be in the background and I have to be feeding signs and I have to share the knowledge that I have without a spotlight. No, with proper advice legally, I was told no, you can't do that. That's an insult to you and your career. And not only legally, but knowledgeable people from different social aspects of life said, no Tony, that's a disrespect. And honestly, most times I would have sacrificed self over service, but this time I chose. Honestly, I would have sacrificed self over, I don't care what people have to say, but there comes a time when you have to stand for something. And I stand for myself and my dignity. I've worked 20 years to provide access and to show what that looks like. It's not just a dream or partiality or, oh, this is just what it looks like. No. It's real access. I grew up with deaf parents. My parents struggled in the 90s. I had to fight to tell people they're not dumb. They're deaf. And the only thing that's different about them is that they sign, they don't speak. And I refuse to change that about myself. And if people don't like it, I can't change it, brother. We can't change. And so now we have people contending about, oh, backup interpreters. This has nothing to do with backup interpreters. This has to do with a choice and a personal decision that the Jamaica Debates Commission made. They decided that they don't want to work with me for reasons that they can't say. And they've been telling other people all kind of things. Say me rude and me what. Me say, how me rude? Because the only thing I did was stand for the rights of my community, my deaf community. And I won't change that. You hearing anybody else in the world, I won't change the fact that I grew up in the 90s and I saw the struggles. I have to stand for the rights of deaf people. I have to. So my point is, it's not about not available. It's not about not being able to provide access. It's about being blacklisted. That's really what's happening here. I'm being blacklisted. And I've heard organizations say I'm rude, but nobody can tell me directly what I was rude about. Nobody can say it. And everybody has been talking, but the reality is what? The only thing you can say is that I stood and advocated for the deaf community. And on my community that. Uno and on my community. Deaf people are my people. My mother and father deaf first. I watched them suffer. And I said when I grew up, I won't allow that to happen anymore. I avoided being a part of conversations. I avoided saying anything because I didn't want people to say, oh, it's political, or this has nothing to do with politics. This has to do with personal experience. I grew up in the 90s. My parents were called dumb. My parents were excluded. My parents' friends were excluded. I grew up and I accepted. So people they know the sacrifice, they know the years. JD fought. Me and them Many times we not agree, we not perfect. But with this, we agreed. Ready to sign? We agreed. And if there's any other organization out there who says otherwise, they're not a part of the deaf community. They're not a part of the deaf community. That's the reality. So today, I keep quiet for about this hour from Thursday. I knew from months ago, and I just kept quiet. Few friends know what's happening, lawyer know what's happening, but I just kept quiet and I just watched the progress. I watched the progress because I know if you are really a part of the deaf community, this is not your choice. This is not a personal decision. This is not, oh, I don't like this person or I don't like that person or this is not about you. This is about people. Humans first. Humans first. Deaf people first. Autism, this is a perfect example of autism. What the Jamaica Debates Commission is doing. The perfect example. You decide that this is better for the community without their consent and their approval. And they told you, no, this is what we need. You're artist. So as the last thing Mega say, I don't care about how people feel. I don't care about what's... I've seen sign language clubs of Jamaica. I've seen people. But the reality is, this is not for you. This is not for hearing people. This is not for JDC, TBJ, CVM. This is for the deaf community. The deaf community chooses, not you. You don't have the right. You don't know nothing about sign, to be honest. And many people might not like my bluntness, but this is me. I grew up in deaf culture, and deaf culture is blunt. I never grew up with hearing parents, so you're not gonna like me. Cause we grew up a talk with mine. We not blocked or say, ooh, we can't say that. A long time I experienced problem with expressing myself, you know. From Hago school. Maki let tell you about it. My teacher, them will tell you. Them will tell you. And years upon years, I say, alright, I have to control myself because the hearing environment don't like bluntness. They like hypocriticalness. Well, I'm sorry, when it comes to my community, I can't be a hypocrite. My parents suffer. Deaf people suffer. Them suffer. And the JDC chose to make them suffer in these debates. It's not a reason beyond their circumstance. No, they chose not to work with the appropriate interpreter. And that's all I have to say. Bye-bye, everybody.
Read more at JamaicaLiveNews.com.
Jamaica Live, your trusted news source, both locally and internationally. Please like, share, comment, and contribute to the conversation. Support independent media. Your donations are not just appreciated, they are essential to keeping Jamaica Live alive and thriving. Join us in making a difference. Donate today. Scan the QR code on our website or donate via PayPal to JamaicaLive TVNews@gmail.com.